and welcome back everyone to Master Game Design, Unreal Engine 5 Stylized Environment and Third-Person Blueprint course. In the last lesson, we left ourselves off by setting ourselves a nice block for it to be used within this area, and now we're going to continue optimizing it, making sure we add additional detail instead of just making it look all blocky like that. So, for us to do that, we'll firstly need to add an extra door actually to this area. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to just grab it on one end, and yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do that. We're going to find the walls within this section, and the one wall that we're going to use is going to be a door. So perhaps this one over here. Let's go ahead and see. And yeah, this looks quite all right. Let me just go ahead and readjust and make sure it's right in the center. Should be like so. All right, so this is one done, and the balconies now need to be added as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to hold Alt actually and just grab a balcony. So just going to search for balcony like so. And yeah, we're just going to grab this one over here to just attach it nicely over on this end. Might be a little bit too large actually. I'm going to just make it quite a bit smaller for this one. And I'm not particularly worried in regards to the overall setup. Mainly what you want to do is when creating levels overall, you want to keep consistency within regards to scaling references. So for example, doors, windows, they should all be kept more or less the same size. But in areas like balconies, for example, especially since the player won't be able to get on top of it and it's mainly for decoration, it's not as important. But for example, this door over here, let's go ahead and find ourselves this door. So let's just let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to search for a door and see what I can find. So there you go. That's exactly the type of door we're looking for. I'm going to hold Alt, just make a duplicate out of this. I'm going to select this one, basically replace this reference, and just add this in here. And now let's go ahead and consider what to do in regards to the size. So by lowering it too low, we might run into a problem, but I think actually this is quite right. I'm going to maybe put it into the wall a little bit more like so. And this top, we also need to add it in. So I'm going to actually search for these ones over here. So that's going to be, there you go, canopies. There you go. We're going to find it like so. We're going to just click and select it. Now we can go back onto our building, tap onto this, hold Alt, duplicate it, and simply replace it like so. We're going to simply place it onto the side, like so. And then we need to basically consider, well, actually, let's go ahead and firstly do that properly. I think we can just squish this down a little bit, like so, so it wouldn't get too much in the way. Just like that. I think that looks quite all right. Yeah, it looks quite all right. Okay, so another thing that we need to consider is going to be basically the other side of this area. So for example, we don't want it to keep it as plain when we're duplicating this. We want it to be making sure that it's nicely set up overall. And what I mean by that is if we were to just search for window, we could just simply place it onto the side and it's actually going to be quite all right. So we don't want the walls to be plain and whatnot. We just want to make sure there is some nicer variation. And I'm just looking at this other side as well. Maybe the bottom floor doesn't need it to be, but this floor can be quite nice, quite nicely set up. And actually I will just go ahead and we'll go ahead and leave it as is, and then I'll duplicate it afterwards. I think that's the best way of doing it. So the way I'll do it is just I'll simply go ahead and select one of the parts that were within the section, or actually I'll just go ahead, since this is within a nice selection, I'll go ahead and grab it all and then right click and then select move to luxury house. There you go. So all of the parts now should be within this folder like so. So that's quite nice. And then I can go ahead and just right click, duplicate, hierarchy like so, and it will give me a nice selection again. The reason I'm doing it is mainly because I'll need to set it up for a second spot as well. Let me just go ahead and first of all set it up nicely for this bottom piece. Just like that, making sure that it's actually placed nicely on the ground, which it not really is. I'm a bit worried about that. The reason being is if we were to turn off the gray box, we can see that it's actually floating at this point. But at the same time, it's just the right height as we want it to be for like the upper roofs to be seen. we might lower this down a little bit, or alternatively, what we can do is we can make this a little bit higher somehow. We need to decide how we can make this a bit higher. So I reckon what we can do with this is we can probably, yeah, what we're going to do with this is we're just going to go ahead and keep the roof as is in this space. We're going to go back onto the house, luxury house. We're going to select this and we're going to right click, select all descendants, except we're going to hold control and select the roof itself. Basically, we're then going to drag everything downwards just like that, so it'll be just in this, on this level at the base. And now we're going to just fix these up, which we should be able to do with these supports over here. That's exactly what we're going to do. Might even extend them a little bit, just like that. And let's see if this works out. And I think I'll just lower this down actually, just to help us out a little bit. Just like that. One more thing that we can do for the corners is we can actually find ourselves nice corners. So there you go. We actually do have corners over here, posts. So if we just type in posts, we should be able to find the ones we're looking for. And what I'm going to do is just simply, I'm going to duplicate one. I'm going to put it on the top, and I'm just going to grab maybe this one over here and just kind of place it off in the corner, just like that. And now placing it one, making it smaller maybe, like so. All right, this is looking quite nice. I'm going to hold Alt, put it up on the other side as well, making sure it's more or less symmetrical, holding, selecting both of them, making a duplicate, rotating them 180 degrees, just like that, putting it to the other side. And there you go, we basically hit ourselves from those nasty corners, basically. I will delete the actually original one now that I switched it over for this one. So let me just go ahead and do that. I'm going to select the luxury house. I'm going to go ahead and select all descendants. I'm going to go ahead and click delete. And we should be left only with the luxury house over here. Oh, actually, the folder itself stays behind. So let's just go ahead and remove it. So there you go. Now it's deleted from this area. And we can make a duplicate out of this to make the second house. So that's the one we have for the gray box over on this end as well. Let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to grab the luxury house one. We're going to select it, duplicate hierarchy, and it's going to give us this. We're going to just move it to the side. I will take off the gray box like so and put it up something like this. We'll just check it. We need to leave some path for the alleyway as well. Be a little bit closer. We need to also consider the narrowness of the alleyway, like so. So maybe like that. I am worried about this gap though. So we can either A, get it a bit closer, which we might worry about the alleyway gap over here, or B, we can put in a wall. We could extend the walls and stuff like that. I think in this particular case, I'm gonna go ahead and just get this quite a bit closer, like so. And I will take off, well, actually, I will get it even closer than that, so there would be no gap, just like that. That's quite all right. I will take off these corners, though, from over here. And the rest, I will keep it as is. I think this looks quite nice. So now we need to consider how we are going to set it up in regards to this entire section. There is a window inside, actually, which I'm going to will probably leave it as is, or actually, go ahead and check for the outliner where it is. So it's window 21 at the very base of this. Window 21, going to go ahead and raise it up. There you go. We found ourselves a window that we can just go ahead and delete. Other windows, we can put some windows over here on this end as well. So I'm just going to search for windows, going to put some of them in, going to make it look a little bit more fancy and more spacious. Sure that we rotate it around like so. Putting it inwards like that. Maybe we can add it a little bit closer to the walls. So, and there we go. We got ourselves a nice early setup area. I'm going to change this wall to just a plain wall, actually, like so. And I will add a couple of extra windows. Actually, maybe we have some windows over here, something like so. A little bit too large for windows. So, again, too large for a wall. This wall is a little too large. I'm just wondering what to... Oh, there you go, actually. This window looks quite nice. So there we go. We've got ourselves a nicely set up area with more of a luxurious type of a look. We could add some balconies in the back. Maybe we will do so once we start looking into it for this alleyway. But I don't think we'll need it actually, but we'll have a look. Really depends on our perception. We will be blocking off this way, so it's not even too much important in regards to that. We could have the player walking through here, but what we want basically is to have the player walking through the entrance, and this section over here would be like another playable area, and then you'd be able to just kind of jump around the roofs later down the line. So we still have a long way to go, but we are getting there bit by bit. We're making our own city and making sure that everything is nicely set up. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in a